This is just a brief tour of the PSS123 Garden Flowers course, just to show you where various items are so you make sure you don't miss anything, especially important parts. I always get a few questions, people can't find things, so I thought this might be of help. Starting with this home page, I assume you're on that since you're listening to this video and it's linked there. The announcements are here, sometimes on the home page. We'll click on that. Sometimes I'll post announcements if there's additional information, but often I just send emails with reminders. Getting started is a pretty important page that has, since this is a very different course from any you'll take online, being self-paced, make sure you read this so you don't get behind and find out how the course really works and how to go about that. Then there's a short video in a couple of formats, either Windows Media or version on YouTube of the same, about a minute. Just a greeting from me, a little introduction so you can actually see who I am, the man behind your screen. Course through video is what we're doing now, the syllabus and more. There are a couple things here. Of course, the syllabus, it has the due dates, that's pretty important. Also, how the grading works and the outline of that. Then you'll notice down here additional passwords. There are some parts of the course, like the lecture notes, that are not on Blackboard. You'll need these two passwords here, so make sure you note those. And then down below, there are some additional resources that you can go to when you're trying to identify the plants later if you want. So those are some pretty good photo resources for plants in this course. So going back to the left-hand column then, we've done the syllabus. Instructor info is just a little bit of bio on me to finish up that first section, which is kind of the general parts of the course. And the actual meat of the course is in the second section, starting with the lecture notes. We click on that, and you'll find a link there. This is, again, when you first go to this, you'll have to use those two passwords that we showed before. So there are the different lectures, and you see an outline here. You see the lecture linked, and so you can go down. There are quizzes here, but note these are non-credit. These are not for credit for this course. They're practice quizzes. So if you go through those, feel free to. I'll get copies when you submit as well. But unless you see the grade on Blackboard, it doesn't count. So make sure you do the tests on Blackboard, which we'll get to in a minute. Then there are the exercises, linked from the left column, and you can just click on that and go through some general points to begin with. There's a virtual field trip you can take right off the beginning of the course. Question and answer, a resource review, a word puzzle search, some very applied garden math. Pretty straightforward, but make sure you look at the math samples and math conversions for that. And then finally, a couple of new plants that aren't covered in the course that you'll want to be looking up, and follow the directions there. So you've covered the lecture notes, exercises, the tests I mentioned are linked here. These are the ones that count, not those quizzes on that other page. So you click those, follow the tests. You can start them, stop them, but when you submit them, they'll be graded by Blackboard, and then that will be your grade. It should appear on your grades page. There's a final test for the notes. The ID tests are just that. You have pictures, and you identify have a choice of the plants to identify from there. Part of the agenda there is to actually learn the plant spelling. Since this isn't a memorizing course, there's some different spellings. So one of the skills is to teach careful observation of spellings of plant names, which is an important part of learning to spell plants. Then there's an ID final, which is different. You actually will, let's go to that, take a look. You will actually click on photos here. Plant flower will come up, and you identify that and send the names, scientific and common, to me according to the directions. So make sure you follow those directions for all of those and send them in as listed there. So, and then finally, an extra credit, a couple of option to watch a couple of videos there, 25 points each for 50 total. There's the link. You go to that, that's off the site, so you click on it again. And there are the videos that I've produced for the Across the Fence program over many years, 15-minute videos generally. And there are the topics on the left, and those are YouTube links. and then Windows Media Links on the right to a lot of these as well. So I hope you can check out some of those to learn a lot more than is in the course and some very different topics. So that's the meat of the course. Then you'll find the final section down here, my grades, and then my main website that's not part of the course but you may find useful as well. There's much on there. I encourage you to check that out, the Perry's Perennial pages.